Another great time here at Idaho, where we're going to make another great recipe, including potatoes of some kind. Are you ready for this? Tonight we're making Idaho nachos, and we're going to start by making a cheese sauce. And the first thing I'm going to do is put maybe 2 tablespoons of butter into a hot skillet. Okay, that's the very first thing. That's probably the easiest thing. To that, I'm going to add some cut onions. All right. I'm going to take a spatula. All right. We're also going to add a can of diced green chilies. These are hot ones. Okay. Because I want this cheese sauce to have some spice. So that's in there. I want this stuff to cook together. We're just going to let those onions soften up a bit. And while we do that, I'm going to grab some heavy cream. And then I'm going to go to my pantry and I'm going to grab some flour. A little stir here. Yep, I have a tiny little kitchen coming to you from my tiny little kitchen. All right. And I'm short enough that I really have to reach up there to grab my thing. That's how it works. My husband, this is his, it's not mine. But he likes it. It helps him get around. Okay, then. You can see these onions start to sweat it off. Get a little soft. That's exactly what we want. We want the onions like that. Okay? Then, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour. About the same amount of flour as I put in butter. Okay? And you're just going to sprinkle it right in here. And we're going to let it cook in this pan. We're going to let it brown up a bit. You can see how it's taking the liquid that was here, the butter, and the liquid from the green chilies. And this is all becoming really firm. You see that? Good. Now, the next thing we do is we take this heavy cream, and we're going to add heavy cream. Okay? And we're going to stir that all in. Now, I've been cooking tater tots, and they're about done, so I'm turning off my oven. And they can just stay in there. So I cooked a 2-pound bag of tater tots, and I'll show them in a minute too. But I cooked them as per directions. So that's what you'll want to do. Just follow it. Mine, the recipe said on there, it said to put them in the oven for 25 to 26 minutes. I personally and my family like them a little crunchier than that when we do this. So it was probably more like 30 to 35 minutes just to get the texture I want. And you're just going to stir this now until it starts to thicken up and gets good and thick. You just want this to thicken up. Cream does that on its own anyway. As you get this, and then you add the flour, which is the thickening agent. And because you cook that flour, you're not going to get lumps of flour in this, okay? This is not like adding cornstarch to beef or any of those types of things. This is just nice and easy, okay? And now, we're going to take this cheese that we've grated. I want to say this about cheese. It's true that you can buy pre-grated cheese in the store. Don't. It doesn't melt the way you want it to. It doesn't have the texture you want it to. Nor does it have the flavor. And for this purpose, I have, and most purposes, I have purchased Tillamook brand extra sharp yellow cheese. You can get white or yellow. When I'm doing something like this, I prefer white because I like the color. It has nothing to do with the flavor, but I like the color of it for what I'm going to do. Okay? Let's add a little bit more, and we'll save just a little to top it with. Okay? Get that all nice and melty. Turn the heat off. Set this. Great places here. And here come those tater tots that we were talking about. See how nice and golden brown they are? That's the way my family likes them. Now I'm going to turn the broiler on in here now, because I want that part to be working good. Now we're going to take all these are really hot. I'm using my fingers because I'm weird. Actually, I don't know why I was doing that. Okay. We are taking these and moving them as close together as we can. Now on this pan, you'll see that I have a silpat underneath me. If you don't own a silpat, well, first get one, because it will save you so much heartache when it comes to dishes, okay? But if you don't have one, you can use parchment paper, and it will help in the same regard, okay? So we push all those together. And then I'm going to add a can of black beans that I've opened and drained. Now, you can use refried beans if you'd like to. For health purposes, I like using these black beans, and they do exactly what I want it to do. Flavor, texture, yumminess, okay? Just spread them all over. There we go. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is I've got a bunch of pulled pork. And we are going to take this pulled pork, make sure it's nice and shredded good, and we're going to put it all over these tater tots. Okay? This is going to be good. Now, when you cook this shredded pork, I put garlic directly into the pork. I cut some slits, and I put it right in there. So this pork has a really strong garlicky flavor, which is how a pork roast should be. So keep that in mind. I also sprinkled it beforehand as well with garlic powder all over the outside. I pre-browned it before it went in the slow cooker, and then it is cooked on low all day long. I put it in this morning about 5 o'clock and took it out about an hour ago, and it's 8 o'clock our time. So that gives you kind of an idea. In that regard, it's not a fast thing. And there's a little bit left over for my cameraman later. He'll be very happy to have some of that. Good. Okay, now we are going to now take this cast iron pan that I've made this sauce in, and we are going to dump this cheese sauce all over the top of this. Okay? That's right. Now there's still some. We're going to go back. We're going to get our cheese sauce more off the bottom. Grab the hot pad and come back to this. Yeah, there we go. Once I got the bulk of it out, there we go. Perfect. We're going to put that back down. Use this and spread that cheese sauce now all over the top, so it's nice and yummy and gooey. We'll take a little bit of this cheese that I saved. I'm going to sprinkle it over the top. Never too much cheese. Keep that in mind. Never too much cheese. Okay. Then we're going to take some red onions. Sprinkle that across the top. And for the final thing before it comes out of the oven, I cut up one jalapeno. And I'm not going to just randomly put these on there. I'm putting them on so they look pretty. Because it's there not just for flavor, but for beauty. So we're doing that. Now, one thing I am going to say is before you touch your skin, make sure that you wash your hands after you've touched the jalapeno, okay? Otherwise, you will regret it. Now we're going to put this whole thing in the oven with the broiler on. Watch that go away. I'm going to wash my hands now, just like I just said, and we'll show it to you when it's done. All right, these Idaho nachos are done. You ready for this? Look at this. Look at that beautifully brown cheese. Make sure you turn on the oven. Okay, brown cheese. All that stuff is lovely. And now all you're going to do is allow your family to take this great, giant, lovely spatula and scoop them up onto a plate or bowl and top them with your favorite toppings. We've got diced tomato, onions, olives, avocado, sour cream, and salsa here for my family. It's going to be our dinner this evening. I hope you try this and enjoy it.
Is it dinner time yet?
Yeah, it's dinner time for you, honey.